Bible. The Bible has more evidence internally, externally, manuscript evidence than any other book ever written. They were shocked by this. They just assumed because they read some book or heard some college professor say that it's not believable, but they never checked into it themselves. In this session, we're going to discover that God makes predictions about His family. He will say that we, like sheep, have gone astray. We have this tendency not to put God first. We have a tendency to not see God as our shepherd, but instead to run away from Him and His leadership. But He makes some predictions. He said that He would come from the lineage of David, and He was born to Joseph. He said that He would be born to a virgin, and He was born to Mary. He said He would be the child who would be born, but the Son who would be given, and He came as the God-man. Oftentimes, things that seem like they don't fit together, because they're beyond our comprehension, we reject. My grandfather loved puzzles. Every time we came to his house, he'd make us put the puzzle together again. And I could never figure out how it went together, and sometimes I'd give up. And many people give up on the Bible because they've never looked into the facts. If I told you that I could place a green balloon inside of a yellow balloon, you'd say there's not a chance. But you really can. Hey, watch, I'll take this balloon and I'll actually push this one balloon inside of itself. And something that a moment ago seemed illogical, something that a moment ago seemed like it was impossible, and now I'll take the green one and I will push it inside of the yellow. You can see the balloon is inside of it, just like I said it would. And now, what was impossible a second ago is suddenly believable. There's a green balloon inside of a yellow one. Now, one of my favorite balloon creations several years ago is I create a maze. A maze of balloons where you try and take the balloon and pass it through. You start on one end and you go to the other. This is a lot what the spiritual journey is of understanding the Bible and even God. We start at one end. We say, well, I've heard the Bible has so many contradictions. But then we begin to study it. We begin to look into the facts. We make our journey, and there's some areas are harder to get through than others, but eventually we make our way back, and one day, after we've studied through a rational process of engaging our mind, we discover that sure enough, God is reliable, and God's Word is reliable. And not just in the facts, also in our own lives. See, God tells us that we, like sheep, have gone astray, and that we need a shepherd. And it's when we don't put God first that we get into trouble. We deny Him, we deny His character, and we deny His Word, and we end up in trouble. When there is so much evidence to prove that God is who He says He is.